Hi, everybody. Welcome to the live. I apologize for being a few minutes late. Just had some technical issues, but we are on. So, hi, everybody. I'm so glad that you're here. Gosh, I haven't done a live in so long, and I'm so happy to be back with you all. Another time, I'll tell you guys the story of what's been going on. But today, I want to answer all of the questions that you guys have about adoption. Okay. Now, I'm sure that you've seen my posts about the Adoption Success Accelerator. I have launched this course, which, I have provided actually since 2020. And then I took a break for a year because there was a lot going on, like I said. And so after a year of the accelerator really not, using it to help families, I have relaunched the course. And so I know you guys have a lot of questions about the Adoption Success Accelerator because I talk about it a lot. So I want to answer a lot of your questions today. I wanted to make just a special live to answer your questions. Okay, so if you're on here, please comment below. Let me know where you're watching from, your name and the city and state that you're watching from. If you're watching the replay, please also tell me where you're watching from. Let me know in the comments below. Okay, so the Adoption Success Accelerator course, for the first time, I'm actually going to be doing it live, okay? And so that means that for 6 weeks, I am going to be going through the adoption journey with you. We're going to go through the course together, and I'm also going to be answering all of your questions throughout the 6 weeks that we are together, okay? So it's been a long, long time since I've done this course live, and I'm so excited to meet with all of you and so many of you who have already signed up, and I can't wait for us to go through this course together. So the Adoption Success Accelerator course, what I do through that course is provide you an unbiased, streamlined source of everything that you need for a successful adoption before, during, and after you actually bring that child home, okay? And I also personally guide you through it based on my experience as an adoption lawyer for almost 10 years now, okay? So my experience as an adoption lawyer is helping hundreds of families just like you through the adoption journey, all right? So again, I'm so excited to do this live with you all. So I'm going to start answering some of the questions that I get very often, and we're just going to go through one at a time. All right. So first one usually is, well, who is this course for? Well, the course is for anybody who is considering adoption. Okay. It's especially for first-time hopeful adoptive parents who have never adopted before and are just finding themselves lost in their research, lost and not really knowing what to do. What is the next step I'm supposed to take? Okay. If you're considering adoption, the Adoption Success Accelerator is definitely for you. Now, if you've already started your journey and now you feel stuck in the process and you're not sure what to do moving forward, the course is also for you. Okay. It's going to help you get unstuck and give you the clarity that you need to actually move forward. Okay. So the course is designed to help you start your adoption journey with confidence so that there's no overwhelm, there's no confusion, and you can just follow the step-by-step process to go through your adoption journey. All right. Next question I get is, how much will this course take? Well, for the first time, I'm going to be offering it live. Okay. So that means that we're going to be going over it together for 6 weeks. I will walk you through the entire adoption journey, your A to Z roadmap for how to adopt successfully and how to do it with confidence. Okay. So we're going to be going live for 6 weeks with you. I'm going to be answering all of your questions, like I said. So I'm there for you. I'm personally guiding you through the entire adoption journey. And so that's how long it's going to be. Now, after the 6 weeks is up and, the live is done and we're done, walking through it together, you still have access to the course online for a lifetime, for as long as it's still up. So we're going to be together for the 6 weeks live, but then you still have access to the course even after the 6 weeks are over. Okay, so don't worry. Okay, so one of the questions too that I get, which obviously is understandable, is it worth the investment? Well, so first I want to say this. Right now, I'm offering an early bird pricing that is literally a never before given offer. Okay, and so it's going to last for another week. And after that, you will not see that early bird pricing anymore. Now, as far as is it worth the investment? Well, I'm going to share some testimonies with you later this week and also next week and the weeks to come about different families who have taken the course, and you're going to hear from them specifically about whether they think it was worth the investment. Obviously, I'm biased and I would say absolutely, but I want you guys to hear from the families who have gone through it, who have adopted their children as they took the course. So you can decide for yourself if it's worth the investment. Now, also, what I want to say to that is I know that adoption can feel very, very expensive, okay? And you can be thinking, gosh, I don't want to spend money here. And I also have to pay for all these other things. Well, for the families who have gone through the course, they've actually saved thousands of dollars by taking the course first because it helped them avoid mistakes that they would have made along the way, okay? I've had families that had already spent thousands of dollars. And after they found the course, they wish they would have done the course first because it would have saved them all the money that they actually spent with the agency. So is it worth the investment? Absolutely. Okay, so let me pull up some other questions that I get, common questions that I get. So another question that I get is, but I work full time right now. Where will I find the time to learn all of this so that I can adapt successfully? And the truth is that we make time for what's important to us, okay? And I'm guessing that you're here, you're interested in the course because you are really concerning adoption, because you want to be a parent, and because you believe that adoption is the best way for you to grow your family, okay? So since you've even stuck with me this far in this live, that tells me that this is something that's very important to you, and that you probably have been thinking about, like I said, for quite some time now. It's just a matter of you deciding to commit to understanding the process and going for it. Because the truth is that no one can do it for you, right? You will have to take time. You'll have to make time if you're really serious about adoption, which is one of the most important decisions that you can make for your family. Okay. Okay. So another question that I get is, I don't want to wait. I don't want to have to wait a long time to adopt. So how long realistically is the adoption journey really going to take? So that's a good question. Okay. The timeline for an adoption, excuse me, is a concern for most people. If you seriously commit to the process of adoption, to your journey, there's no reason why it should take you more than a year to adopt. Okay. Now, again, this is by no means a guarantee. Okay. But it's a pattern that I have seen with families who were committed to the adoption journey and serious about moving forward. So the time frame that it'll take you to adopt a child really depends on how committed and serious you are about adopting. It also depends on the type of adoption that you're choosing, right? If you're choosing international adoption, obviously it's going to take you more than a year because there are so many more steps you have to go through to bring that child home. If you're adopting from foster care, it's probably also going to take you more than a year because you have to deal with the states and their, unfortunately, sometimes slow process. Okay. If you're wanting to adopt a newborn here domestically in the US, it could take you more than a year. But if you are serious and you are committed to the journey, the families that have joined the program have adopted within 12 months of joining the program. Okay. So it's really up to you how quickly you're wanting to grow your family. Another really common question that I get is, excuse me, I don't live in Nebraska, because that's where I live, right? I live in Nebraska. People say, I don't live in Nebraska where you are. So can the course still work for me? Yes, absolutely. In fact, our students are from all over the United States. Okay. You see, the adoption process itself is generally similar all over the United States, although each state has different adoption laws. So the framework and the steps really don't differ all that much from state to state. And that's one of the things that we teach our students. We also ensure that our students have access to the legal information they need for their own states. Okay. Another question I get is, yeah, but I don't know anything about adoption. I literally just decided last week that this is what I want to do. So that's great. Okay. If that's you, you're actually in the perfect place, because this means that you haven't yet experienced the heartache, the scams, and the loss of money that a lot of families experience. So you're actually in the best possible position to grow your family through adoption the right way the first time by taking this course. It's going to give you the foundation that you need, the roadmap that you need to actually adapt without making all the common mistakes that most families make when they start the process. Okay. Another question I get is, gosh, with all the scams out there, how can I really protect myself? Is that even possible? Well, scams are common in almost every industry that you can think of, right? So it's no different with adoptions, unfortunately. So the best solution is to find experienced adoption professionals who are highly rated for their work to help you through your adoption journey. So through the Adoption Success Accelerator course, we equip our students on how to actually find those professionals and how to properly vet them. Okay. Another common question I get is, I'm single. Can I adopt? I've answered this question so many times, but I love answering the question. If you're single, adoption is absolutely possible for you. Okay. Adoptions have changed a lot in the past 2 decades. And as a matter of fact, there is research that shows that in 2019, a third of adoptions from foster care were by single people. Single people can adopt newborns, they can adopt internationally. So being single will never hinder you from adopting. What I find is really the mindset, how people are thinking about adoption when they're single, that actually stops them from moving forward. But single people are adopting all the time, okay? Another common question I get is, I'm emotionally exhausted after my fertility treatments didn't work. I just don't know if I can really believe that the adoption process will work for me. Listen, it is completely normal for you to feel defeated when you've put your hope in one way to grow your family that hasn't worked. And it's exhausting for sure, let alone really traumatic to go through that. Growing your family is not an easy process, but it is so worth the outcome. If your heart is still dreaming to have a child running around in your home that you can call your own, then I think that you owe it to yourself to go through the adoption process. But that's just my 2 cents. You obviously have to make the right decision for your family. Okay. Another common question that I get is, yeah, but I don't have money to adopt. I need time to save up so I can adopt in the future, but I really want to start learning about it right now so I can be prepared. Okay, great. Let's talk about that. That's exactly what we teach our students through the course. Okay. Everything they need to know about the adoption process so that they can adopt successfully. And the best news is that you don't need to have money saved up to do that at all. You can start learning about the adoption process now. And while you're learning the process, you can be saving up your money for when you're ready to actually hire an adoption professional. Okay. Another common question that I get is, I'm already working with an adoption professional, but it's not going anywhere. I want to try a different approach, but I don't know if I can afford it. A lot of my students came from just this very problem issue, I guess. They were already working with an adoption professional. They were stuck. They had been waiting years. They were not getting matched. And so they were like, well, we want to try something different, but they didn't want to lose the money they had spent already with a professional. Does that sound familiar? If that's any of you, that's a common concern. This is what I would say. In my experience, helping families adopt successfully for almost a decade now, families who are working with professionals and are not seeing any movement with their adoption usually, in my experience, chose the professional without knowing the information that I have provided in the course. Okay. But it's not your fault. You just didn't know that there were other options out there that might have been better for you. When you've already invested in one path, it's really difficult to change once you're in the middle of it. But think about whether growing your family through adoptions is worth trying a different path. That just might work. Because the goal at the end of the day is to bring that child home to you, right? All right, so let me see other questions that people ask. I feel like I've covered most of it. If you have questions, will you put it in the comments below? Let me see. I'm just looking to see any other questions that you all have asked me. I want to make sure I answer all of your questions. Okay, so I want to cover again first, let me talk about what the Adoption Success Accelerator is, and then I'm going to explain to you again who it's for, okay? So the Adoption Success Accelerator program it's the course that gives you absolutely everything that you need, all of the exact A to Z steps to seamlessly adopt and successfully bring your new child into your family much faster and with far less money spent, without the confusion, frustration, and overwhelm that happens when you try figuring out on your own, okay? This is the program that gives you the confidence to start down the adoption path, knowing that you have a proven roadmap to follow and an experienced adoption lawyer, me, guiding you through every step of the way, Okay, so let's talk about who this actually works for. I know I said it at the beginning, but I just want to reiterate again. This works for families who have decided that adoption, whether that's adopting a newborn or adopting from foster care internationally, is the right path to grow their family, and they're ready to invest into that path. Okay. This is also for Christian families who feel a calling from God to adopt. Okay. You know, God's called you, but you're not sure what to do. The next step to take. This course is for you. This is for first-time hopeful adoptive parents who desire to understand the process and navigate through it successfully to grow their family. Okay, so you are like, you know what? I know that I can maybe work with all these agencies. I've already done all the research, but I want to see this process laid out for me. I want to see the step by step so that when I actually start my journey, I'm confident and I know what to do. Okay, this course is for you. This course is also for those who started working with an adoption professional, haven't made any progress, and they're tired of losing time and money. Okay. Again, it's not your fault. You just didn't have the right steps to follow. So let's get you those exact steps. Okay. So if that's you, I want to invite you to enroll in the Adoption Success Accelerator program. The link is going to be in the description box for the video. Okay. So for those who sign up early, there's early bird pricing available for you. That's only going to be available for a few more days. This is a never before offered price to join the program. So I'm so excited for those of you who want to take advantage of that, do that. It's going to be the regular price will show here in the next couple of days. So the early bird pricing is for those who are jumping on the bandwagon early. You're getting in and you're saying, yes, I want to get in right now. Also, I want you to know that the course is going to start live April 14th, okay? And like I said, it's going to be 6 weeks long. And twice a week, we're going to meet, and I'm going to go through the course with you together. And I'm going to have Q&As. You can ask me whatever questions you need as we go through the course together, okay? After the 6 weeks are up, you're still going to have access to the online platform, okay? So you have access to everything, all the things that come with the course and all of that. You're going to have access to that for the lifetime of the course. Okay. So after the 6 weeks, don't worry. You can still access everything that we talk about, all the videos and all the worksheets and everything we're going to talk about, and even still all the live videos that we do together for the 6 weeks. Okay. So that's what it's going to be. For those of you who are signing up, I know some of you have already signed up. I'm so excited and I can't wait. April 14th cannot come soon enough. I'm just so excited to meet with you all, talk with you all, hear your stories, and walk with you through this adoption journey. It's one of the things that I love doing the most. Obviously, I've dedicated my career to adoptions because I just love helping families bring children home. And so I'm excited. If that's you, like I said, click the link in the description box below to join the course now. Enroll now for the early bird pricing before the early bird pricing is gone. Okay. If you have any other questions that I haven't covered in the live today, just put them in the comments below, or, DM me on Instagram or find me on Facebook and send me a DM as well. Or send me an email, okay, whichever way. But I'd love to hear your questions, and I'll be answering more questions before we start April 14th, okay? So like I said, if you have any questions, put it in the comments below. I will answer questions as we go along. And I hope today's live was helpful to you, all right? Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all very soon. All right, bye-bye.